Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
All righty, welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Free. We have a great panel this morning. We bring in John Kolb from Capital Mortgage. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Really great. Good to see you, John. Always hear a glance to my right. Yeah, so they preempted the update guy. Oh, here, you get that again. Let me hear you. Loud and clear there. We got you? There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Maybe that was intentional.
No, it's okay. No,
it could be. They preempted the update guy. The update guy didn't even get his update in.
I'm going to give you the update.
It goes
the
like
Tigers
this.
Won, right? Yeah.
Tigers won. Tiger Woods is 5 under. It's not nice outside. The greens are going to be soft at the Memorial, and they're going to go super low.
John, that's a great update.
How's that?
We are going to give you 1 hour's worth of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show here, talking about mortgages and real estate. We bring in a great guest today, Noel Heidemann from Max Brook in Birmingham. Noel, great to have you.
Good morning, guys.
How you doing?
Doing well.
You're doing as good as the industry's doing. It is absolutely gangbusters. Although, Noel, we're going to talk mortgages and real estate all morning long. It's been an inventory. You know, it's the nonstop thing. What's going on with the inventory out there? It's down. We have a supply here of less than 3 months in Southeast Michigan. What's going on in your backyard, and what do you see? And what do you see things going the rest of the spring and summer?
We're hoping for a lot more inventory. It's actually picking up just a little bit, but time will tell. Definitely, we're low in regard to the amount of homes that are up for sale right now. But in general, total sales are down, but prices are up. Price per square foot is up. So that's, a good indicator. But we definitely need a lot more listings.
Yeah, no, it's so crazy what the price per square footage is now. We talk about the Woodward Corridor a lot. We do a lot of business in Oakland County, Macomb County, but all over the place, price per square foot is up. And, that's good, and it's not so good because appraisers, that is not the first, second, third, or fourth thing that appraisers look at. They look at what? Comparable sales in the area and proximity to the subject and the timeliness of when a property is sold. So there are a few stragglers left, right? It's only June 2nd. And so comps are being used from still the wintertime and early 2018, January, February. So sometimes at this point in time where we're sitting today, the values haven't caught up with the sales. Or, I'm sorry, the sales haven't caught up with the values. But I got to tell you, off the show, had one in Berkeley the other day. Berkeley's hot. Appraisals are coming in Berkeley.
Berkeley is hot.
Berkeley's doing really well. I mean, we're seeing things that are just, increasing. And, knock on wood, everything's been working out for us. So, just keep it rolling.
Yeah, we have like a 5.5 increase in appreciation across the United States. Now, it definitely seeing the same thing here in Southeast Michigan. Our median sales price has gone up. It's about $205,000 now in the Midwest. The national average has gone up to $257,000. What can you buy for $200,000? I said to you, no, I looked up last night because I know your office is in Birmingham, so I figured I'd start with your backyard. And I wanted to see what we could buy for $200,000, and not a lot. Not a whole lot in Birmingham. I mean, its location.
Yeah, there's very, very little in Birmingham. Condominiums, possibly. 2 bedrooms, but there's really no residential. You've got to get up. You're in need of the $300,000. I have a pending transaction right now that we're closing in a couple of weeks. That's at $280,000, and it's a very, very, very limited market.
Okay.
You don't get a heck of a lot. Fantastic neighborhoods, but the prices are just increasing.
Yeah.
Over the last few years. So, in general, year to date, the average sales price and the average price per square foot has gone up 6% and 7% respectively. So, and that's in general in southeastern Michigan.
And what do you think the trend is going to continue? I mean, it's really rough to make predictions, but you can trend and you can see it. So right now we're in the 7th year of a hot market that started in 2012. So it is a seller's market. Noel, in your professional opinion, you've been doing this a long time. You and John have had a over 20-year relationship. Tell us what you think and what you see the trends leading to be.
Well, if we can get some more listings and some more people that are selling their homes, it will hopefully level out the real estate market a little bit. I think that's very, very important right now because you can't have the increase in the values and the price per square foot at the rate that we're at right now. I don't think it's healthy for a real estate market. So hopefully we get some more people that are looking to sell and we get some more activity that way. and that will help level out the real estate market a
Yeah,
little bit.
whether or not our wages can sustain the appreciation that's going on out there becomes a problem because of what happened with the millennials and the younger group of buyers out there is they're just straggled by the student loan debt. So it's causing some conflict. How do they qualify if the prices keep going up? It makes home affordability less and less easy to obtain.
Well, I think too the affordability of homes, but it's a direct correlation too to what's going on in the world, what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with the economy, et cetera. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a little bit of interesting information. A lot of geopolitical events affect mortgage rates here in the United States. Of course, a safe haven for money is the U.S. bond market. And with activity in Italy last week, we saw some movement in the MBS, the mortgage-backed security market. Just a slight improvement in potentially the mortgage price. Maybe a closing cost drop just a little bit. Again, better to get locked in now as the rates are still at historical lows.
Right.
If you want to give us a phone call, give us a call here, 248-539-9797, always live at the studio. But Capital Mortgage is open all weekend long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Sit down with real mortgage professionals and find out what you qualify for, and then we can run you through the mortgage process.
Listen, 15-year fixed rates are at the same level they were in the mid to late 60s. That would be 1960s, everybody out there. So still, when we say still at historic lows, we don't mean they're at the low of the lows, but we're all pretty spoiled.
We're still at the bottom of the curve.
You're still you're still getting a phenomenal rate, and if you can find that house, and Noel can find you that house, guess what? You got to take advantage of the rates right now because nobody knows where they're going to go, and if unemployment continues to stay low, if the wages continue to go up and jobs are plentiful, then you're going to see rates go up because there's no need for the Federal Reserve to go ahead and stimulate the economy by lowering interest rates. That's just the way it works.
You know what makes me so excited about a market like this is those gap areas that are getting filled in. I mean, Ferndale never used to be anything but $90,000 sales, right? And now 200, 250. I mean, we're seeing things in Redford, we're seeing things in Canton, Westland. Just the beautiful homes that have always been there that are starting to really rebound now too, as well, and just filling in those gap areas because, like Noel said, there's nothing in like a city like Royal Oak or Birmingham. The prices are just getting ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
priced out.
if you want to be in an affordable area, that is still a beautiful area. So these gap areas are starting to really start to fill in, and it's just an awesome thing.
That's a great point.
Well, I think with what's happened in the city of Detroit, with the businesses and with restaurants and entertainment, et cetera, that has been a huge boost to the economy. But also, Ferndale and, people like downtowns, people like, a place to go to mingle, restaurants, et cetera. Berkeley has a great downtown as well, speaking of Berkeley earlier in prices. So it's really, it's very good for our market. It's very good in general for southeastern Michigan, I think.
Yeah, there has to be a core, a strong downtown area. The core of Detroit has got to be strong. It's vibrant. People are enthusiastic about it, and that spurs other activity. And like you said, people want to be where there's activity. So when you see excitement, when you see activity, it makes people feel good. People have jobs now. I think that there's a 2.5 month supply, Noel, of homes on the market, which is extremely low.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's just the market that we're in. It's supply and demand. Low supply, high demand, higher prices. That's just what it was.
You actually have an average of about a month and a half if you take all price ranges. You've got a month, a little under a month and a half for up to 200,000.
Yeah.
Same thing for 200,000 to 400,000. You got a little over 3 for 4 to 8, and then a little bit higher for 800,000 plus. So.
And how frustrating is it for these buyers that are trying to put offers in? I mean, I've talked to many people just over the last couple of days that they've got 4, 5, 10 offers in, and they never get the home because it's just a bidding war out there. And people are, we've talked about this time and time again, people are just constantly coming in with offers saying that the appraisal waivers.
I think it's education, too, about explaining to buyers, especially that are new to the market. A lot of people hear about, their friends and family, et cetera, that, have recently purchased a home and the experiences that they've had. So I think it's important to educate people that are getting into the market, looking for a home, and what they can anticipate. And I think education is key. Knowledge is power when it comes to purchasing. And that's where you guys, come in. And it's very, very helpful to have, the education on the backside with the financing. And making sure that people are comfortable where they're looking, what they can expect. Yes, we've had so many situations, multiple purchase agreements on any set property, prices that are way over what they're listed at. So then you run into a possible appraisal issue. So there's lots of different factors that are monitoring this market right now. But things are positive. The inventory is increasing. We still need it to go up quite a bit more, but we're very positive, and it's a great outlook for Southeastern Michigan right now.
Yeah, I like what you said about knowledge. Knowledge power. Knowledge gives you the confidence to move forward and figure this whole thing out here. There's a lot of moving parts, as we say, in a 30-day period. You get your approval ahead of time, and then once you get your offer accepted, there's a lot of things going on. And if you know about those steps and that process ahead of time, it'll make it smooth and easy for everyone involved. There's no doubt we have a shortage of inventory out there. As our older generation, our empty nesters, are hunkering down. They had this great opportunity, Harry, where we were refinancing them down to 15-year mortgages. They may not have an incentive to leave that house right now.
Right.
They've got lower taxes. They got a great interest rate.
Where are you going to go? When you sell, where are you going to go?
There you go. When we come back, we'll give you some ideas on where you might want to go and how to purchase that next house. Keep it a ticket. We'll be right back.
97.1 The Ticket.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, welcome back. 9:17 if you're just joining us. Let's talk about the weather here in Michigan. That's some blah, blah, blah weather out there. But
yeah, I thought I was going to get completely poured on when I was like running in here as quickly as I can.
It's warm. It's springtime here in Michigan. Why not go out and enjoy the day anyways? And I still say every day is a great day, as Mr. Glantz would tend to agree with me on that one for sure. But lots of good things happening out there. Chris, we'll go to, let's go to this call and then we'll dive into some other things out there. We've got Martin calling in from a cell phone. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797. Hey, Martin, what's going on?
Hey, boys, how you doing?
Real good. What's shaking?
Good morning.
All right, I got a question for you. So my house is in the area. Comps are going for around 290.
Yep.
Because of what you're saying, am I dumb to put it at 309 because I think my house is better than the ones that have been selling for, and because it's such a shortage that it would be to my advantage, or am I just better off putting it at 290 and having a bidding war?
Okay. We'll let Chris Staten. Yeah, we'll let Chris Staten talk about that.
All right. Well, right off the top, what I would do, because you're at 290, if that's where it's at, I would probably price it right at 300. And here's why. Because the way people find houses right now is they're sitting in their bedroom at home on Zillow or any other site, and they're doing searches. And search criteria, they say, I want this many bedrooms, this many square feet, this many bathrooms, and I want to look in this price range from X to Y. And in this case, it's probably going to be 250 to 300. If you price it at 299.9, you're going to find those people. Everybody who's sitting at home looking for 300 to 350 is not even going to see your house.
Right.
So if you price it at 300, you actually get both people. You get people looking from 250 to 300, 300 to 350. And here's the ironic part. The people who are looking for the 250 to 300, that's an expensive house for them. That's at the top of their budget. But the people looking for 300 to 350, that's a deal. That's a bargain. And now you get them competing against one another, and you're going to get a more solid offer. And by solid offer, I just mean better terms.
Yeah, just better terms, maybe more offers to look at. Martin, that's some pretty good information you can go with there. One of the things we were talking about, Martin, is what is your motivation to sell? I want to know it. Martin, you there?
Oh, we might have lost him.
Okay. All right, Martin, we lost you there. Well, anyways, he's on a cell phone. We'll check it out next time. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797. Chris, that's what we're talking about this morning. And Becky, we've been joining in this conversation off the air about the inventory, but there's nowhere to go. What's
We'll be there with live broadcasts, the street team, and the ticket chicks. Stop by Gate A for your chance to win Michigan Lottery's $2 Quick Winnings $2 Instant Game. Win up to $50,000. There's quick fun in every one. Plus, you can register to win tickets to see the Tigers courtesy of Chevrolet, the official sponsor of the Detroit Tigers. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit Tigers.com for your tickets to any Tigers home game.
Your home for the best sports talk in Detroit is also your home for $1,000 an hour. Every weekday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Be listening each hour at approximately half past the hour for the $1,000 keyword. Text the keyword to 72881 and you'll be entered to win $1,000 in this national contest. Message and data rates apply. One random selected nationwide entrant will win $1,000 from Entercom. Win $1,000 an hour on 97.1 The Ticket.
It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. You can call us at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You can always find us there. Also here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. Ronald Jacobs is texting me saying, hey, Harvey, I'm here. If you need a pre-approval, if you're thinking about going out and looking at some houses, I'll tell you, I like to go out on days like today. The other days are boat days. Today could be a fantastic day. If you have an approval, call your agent. There's some new listings out there.
Today's a great day to go see for sale by owners, too.
Yes.
Sorry, Noel, but I'm just saying, if you're out there and you're driving around and you're looking for a house, you got to stop at every place you can to do all your homework and your investigation.
Yes, you do.
It's hard. It's hard out there.
We continuously talk about this inventory shortage, and we haven't even all families are calling us up saying, Harvey, I know I can sell my house in a day or two, but I don't want to accept that purchase agreement until I find something. I said, well, wait a minute here. You're kicking yourself because then the next family then offers contingent upon the sale of your house. You can have your house sold, you can close on it, and you can give up to 60 days of occupancy. And you can delay the closing if you need to.
Anything is negotiable in real estate. Anything is negotiable in regard to time in a home after you sell. Now, you're going to be, in a sense, quote-unquote, paying rent, but anything is negotiable. You can put anything in a contract in regard to the time frame as long as the purchaser is willing to accept that. There are contingencies that you can put in even before you sell if you're concerned that you're going to sell. Because in this market, it's obviously a lot of things are selling very, very quickly, and with a limited amount out there, you have a lot of competition with buyers.
So, no, let's put it this way. I want to get your take on the fact that there are some things that you wouldn't mind seeing in there, but what are some of the absolute things you don't want to see continuing-wise? I'll give you a hint. One thing is we don't ever want to see an appraisal contingency. We don't ever want to see an appraisal an inspection waiver. No, an inspection waiver. I'm a big believer that people should get the house inspected, and I wouldn't waive an inspection. What do you think about that?
I'm a firm believer in people getting home inspections. I think that's the greatest $400 or $500 you're going to spend.
Right.
In regard to the purchase of the home. Obviously, there are larger expenses that are involved with down payment and appraisal and all that good stuff. But yeah, doing a home inspection is vital to learn about the house. Also, I think what's really, really key is knowing what the market is. I've never told a client that, no, we shouldn't go see this house, we shouldn't go see that house. I think the more that you see, the more you can educate yourself. Even though in 100 years you may not buy, 1, 2, 3, 4 Brown down the street, that may be your competition in 3 to 5 years. The average person, buys and sells a house every 3 to 5 years. So anything that, you view now that you may not buy, store it in the back of your head, because when you do sell, that could be your competition. And it also educates you about what it is that you're buying. So, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 Brown, had a finished basement, maybe the home that you're interested in didn't. So how do those values change? How, in your mind, how is that looked at in regard to, this is worth a little bit more, a little bit less, etc.?
Well, you should know what's going on in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's wonderful that you should know, right? And that's what you're up against.
Who doesn't want to walk around an open house that's down the street from them? I mean, just to see what the house has and, ideas, maybe ideas to fix up your own house or, things that just, spur the imagination a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, I could tell you, I was in a Royal Oak new construction not more than 2 years ago, and a lot of the nosy neighbors, and it's fine, they were coming by and they're scratching their head at $495 in this house. I think the house today sells for about $700.
Right.
So, you can learn a lot by listening to people and really finding out what's going on in your neighborhood. One of the things with the heavy-duty competition out there is potentially giving some occupancy back to the sellers because, again, they are having having some trouble finding the next house. So we are seeing more and more offers where they're saying, hey, look, I'm willing to close on such and such date and give the seller 30 days, maybe even up to 60 days of occupancy to stay in the house for free at no cost. And that makes your offer a little sweeter.
I mean,
It does.
thousands of dollars of benefit, right? You know, adds. The seller doesn't have to worry about paying anything while they're still looking for a house.
It's interesting, though. The last probably 5 transactions and a couple that I'm going to be closing here in a couple of weeks or within the next week or so, actually the sellers have already moved out, which is very unique. I think the sellers around the market have been getting such incredible value for their property that they're willing to come to talk to Capital Mortgage Funding and say, hey, listen, I'm getting this amount of equity, and you guys have so many great programs that you can implement and help those people find their next house. So it just alleviates a lot of anxiety, from a buyer. The real estate business is like a set of dominoes. So one thing has to fall for the next, and that's just how the business works. But it's up to us as realtors and you guys in the mortgage industry to help make that a seamless process, to make it as stress-free as possible, to educate throughout the process.
And he touches on a good point, right?
Yeah.
You know, people are coming to us saying, hey, what can I buy a new house before I've sold my other one because I know it's going to fly off the market. I don't want to have to go to temporary housing. I've got 3 kids, 4 dogs, whatever the case may be, right? So, people are coming to us, and we do have great opportunities and options for people to do that. If you qualify, what can you do? And a lot of people are coming back to us saying, well, most of the money that I wanted to put down on my house is still in my house, my existing home. So what can you do? Well, after you sell your home, and if the waiting period has gone by, we can bring you back and refinance you if rates are playing ball, right? If the rates are higher, there's no reason to bring you back and refinance you. So we have options with our servicers and our the people that we invest and sell loans to recast loans. And we can walk you through that, right? It's a great option, and it's a process, but it gets you to where you want. And that recast will put your payment where it should have been from the get-go.
Right, John. And just use some round numbers on that. What recasting truly means is, so if you put down, let's say 5% on a $200,000 house, you got $10,000 down. Well, you want to get to that 160 point, $160,000 loan, 20% equity would get rid of the PMI for you. So you can maybe borrow a small amount of money, or you might have that already saved up to purchase and close on a new house. Then after you sell your existing home, come back to us. There's a small fee. It's like $100, $150.
Well,
$200. Everything's different. It could be $250, $300, but it's relatively small, and you could take that $30,000 and go ahead and put it down. Now, here's the thing: you get the same rate.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't change the rate.
It doesn't change the rate. And it's not a refinance; it's a recast, and you're allowed to take the money, as John said, from the sale of your house when you get that lump sum, and go ahead and put it down to where you wanted your payment to be in the first place.
Yeah, find out what all your options are.
And you can drop PMI right away. I mean, it's illegal for them to say PMI is going to stay on for the year or two. No, I'm sorry, not illegal, but the government servicing entities do not have a waiting period. So you've got can drop your PMI right away. It's a great product.
Yeah, lots of different ways to get into properties. 248-539-9797. I'd love to hear from you. There's a lot of things going on, and I want this to be a long, long summer, and hopefully a lot of families out there buying and listing homes and enjoying their new properties out there. One of the things that comes up is always the school districts. And speaking with a couple clients of mine, including a cousin of mine, he's running into some things, and you need to check this out. If you want to move to a new school district, you have to find out what the requirement is. You have to either have had your house closed, and you have to go down to the school district and show them that you closed and you own on the house. You own that property. Some other cities will allow a purchase agreement. So again, this is coming into play, and I don't want it to be August anytime soon. I promise you that, where the kids are going back to school. I want it to be a long, long summer. But let it be the case if you're thinking about moving and you're trying to get your kids into a school district. Yeah, find out. We just found out recently that there's some cutoff dates where you need to stay in your existing house if you want to leave your kids in there for their junior or senior year. And there's also some start dates. And, of course, having your house closed gives you the proof that you're the owner of the house, and then you're in that community. 248-539-9797. Always like to hear from you, whether you're buying or selling a house. Also, of course, so many families have refinanced with all this built-in equity. We have lots of ways to save money by debt consolidation. Use that equity in your house to save yourself a ton of money. When we come back, we'll show you how. 248-539-9797.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. in Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Welcome back to the show, 932. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Hey, that's where you'll find Becky Alley right next to me.
Hey!
And she's fun and exciting. We have a whole staff of professionals, and that's the thing is, talk to real people that have the knowledge to give you all sorts of information so you can make the right decision. I always say the knowledge gives you the confidence to move forward. And not only that, you know, and Chris, you'll jump on this. We'll go to some calls, but it should be fun to buy a house, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the best part.
I mean, the best part is really enjoying the whole experience and moving in and meeting the neighbors and, of course, growing equity and having a tax write-off is not a bad deal either. 248-539-9797. Move off to some calls, and let's go to John first in Commerce. Good morning, John. Welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm just wondering if the inventory in northern Michigan is the same, and I'm talking specifically about like cottages and vacation type homes. We've had something in the family for several years, and it's just we don't get up there enough, and I'm just looking at prices just myself online thinking, boy, it looks like things are going up there as well as what you guys were talking about down here in the kind of the single family home market. So I'm just wondering if it's as tight up there as it is down here, and are you seeing those values go up significantly as well?
Yeah, generally speaking, you can paint a broad brush and just say, the market is low inventory. There's typically more buyers than there are sellers currently. You can get into specifics. It depends on the price point. If you get into luxury homes and things of that nature, that is a whole different market. A $1 million home is not going to sell in 30 seconds like a $250,000 home in Plymouth. It just is different. And so if you go up north and you've got cottages, you're looking for a very specific type of buyer. And so when you're looking to sell, you obviously think about like the pool of buyers and then start weeding it down. Like how many people can afford this? How many people want this type of home? How many people want maybe a second home? So the days on market might take a little bit longer for a secondary home, but without knowing and pulling up some numbers. And I have tools to be able to do that. So I'll just give you a call after show.
But inventory-wise, does it seem like that there's low inventories on that? And I know like you said, it's a broad market, but I'm talking about 50-foot lot on Lake Huron, small cottage type thing. That it seems like, again, to me, things are just really high when it comes to looking at the prices.
I wouldn't want to speak out of turn, and I typically never do just say whatever, but I can pull it up. I do have the tools to look, and then I can answer that question.
That's for sure going to be a specific buyer.
Hey, John, I love that kind of stuff. John, you're on Huron. You got like a 50-foot lot, a house over there. Whereabouts is it? What city?
Tawas.
I was going to say, is it East Tawas? It's one of my favorite areas. I know you're going to say that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You might get some guys like me who...
you want to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never know.
We just want lakefront property.
Well, a couple of cool things that we do is definitely we'll call after the show, John. But if you want to just... try it for sale by owner. We have our Capital Mortgage site where we list some homes out there that are listed. Maybe call a real estate agent up there and get some professional help on it. Again, you can put a sign up and agents can start marketing, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get it listed and then find out if there's a market for that. And then again, maybe you'll be dumping it. But anyways, I feel like I want to join in with you and split it,
as a blank canvas for a new buyer.
Well, okay, so real quick, Todd, what needs to be done? Is it livable the way it is, or it just needs major updates?
Yeah, it's totally livable. It just needs major updates.
Gotcha. So that would be something that, Noel, a real estate agent, would be able to come in and tell you, hey, doing this would get you a little bit more. I know that when I did my kitchen a couple years ago, I went to a professional and asked them, hey, what do you think it could sell for now versus what if I redid the kitchen? Mm-hmm. And then you just analyze how much is actually going into it. Because what you're going to want is that house is going to, and Noel can confirm this, that house is going to be more desirable with updates.
Todd, what year was your house built?
96.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so it really all depends. And, if you're going to start a project like that, you're probably going to need to, wait it's going to take 3, 4, 5 months to gut a kitchen and do bathrooms or whatever else you may be doing.
Yeah, I think the updates that may or may not be needed. I think you need to have a professional like myself come in and kind of give you an opinion. Depending upon the neighborhood, if you're in a subdivision that is of the same ilk in regard to year built, et cetera, what are the comparables?
Mm-hmm.
What is selling? What's happened in the last 3 to 6 months? Because that's going to determine value, bottom line, with an appraiser. Buyers are going to determine what they want to pay for a property. Sellers are going to determine if they want to sell it for that. But it does have to appraise. Now, what's happening in your neighborhood? Is there been a lot of 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath colonial selling? I'm not sure what the style of your home is. But those are things that we look at, we compare. I'm a firm believer in, before putting up your home for sale, it's not a bad idea to go check out what else is available.
Right.
Just to compare, to say, okay, well, Mr. and Mrs. Smith down the street, they have very similar square footage, footprint, et cetera, of the house. They're asking X. What's their activity been? And that's, one of the things that you leave up to me as a professional to contact the agents. We all, speak with each other in regard to our activities. How much are we getting traffic, et cetera, in a house. This day and age, there has been, especially the last, 8 months or so, there's been, homes that go up for sale that sell very, very quickly. But done right, the right updates can definitely make you more money. But don't look and think that you're going to get apples to apples. It really depends on what it is that you do.
Hey, Todd, how's your knowledge on your neighborhood and what's going on around you? Are you keeping up to date? What's going on?
Yeah, the area is selling very quickly. Houses get listed, and I'd say within a week they have multiple bids.
And what do they sell for?
In the 300,000 range.
And what's your balance on your home now?
It's maybe 130.
Yeah, you got a ton of
you got a ton of equity.
You got a ton of equity. It's going to be interesting to see, right? Would he be better off putting in a $20,000-$30,000 kitchen, or a $30,000 project, kitchen and bath?
I think the market's so hot right now. If it's livable and it's just outdated, then I think you should just list it.
Yeah, you're going to get fixing it all up.
Yeah, you're going to get top dollar. The selling season is right now.
Exactly.
And I think you should. I think that's what I would do.
Yeah,
that's
Todd,
my recommendation.
It's important, I think, to take advantage of what the current situation is, especially for a seller, and to avoid the headache of the design of your kitchen, and whatever other updates you may or may not want to do. You may be able to alleviate yourself that headache and put it up for sale and make. If you only owe $130,000, you're in a very good position.
Hey, Todd, I'm thinking you're going to end up doing one of these flip and flop shows. You're going to redo the kitchen and bathroom and say, I'm not selling this thing. It's beautiful now. Where am I going?
That's right.
And that's all we're talking about this morning and for the last several weeks is there's not a lot of inventory out there. So definitely, Todd, a lot to think about and find out where you might move after the fact. So we'll follow up with you and see if we can give you some additional advice.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks, hey, we like your call, man. Really appreciate that call. Again, if you're out there listening and you'd like to join the show, 248-539-9797. That kind of call is great because it gets other people interested. And in that situation, so much equity in the house. He's got a lot of choices, but by putting in the extra 20 or 30,000 towards these improvements, he might not get any more out of his bottom line.
Correct.
There's no guarantee he's going to get 100%.
No, there never is.
Dollar for dollar, but look at. Bathrooms and kitchens are the big thing. I mean, you're going to recoup that the fastest. However, if you're going to sell it anyways, and it's just a little bit outdated, why not let the buyer do it?
Right. Well, you know what? In my 25 years of experience, I've always told. Yeah, I know.
He threw that card out there.
Yeah, I did.
He's out there.
Do you like how I slid that in?
Yeah.
I always tell people, whatever updates you're going to do, regardless if you're going to be there for 6 months or 6 years or 60, do what you're going to like. You're going to enjoy the home. You're there 24/7.
It's a lifestyle.
That's where you live.
Right.
And, enjoy what you do. Don't necessarily worry about, well, if I'm going to sell in 5 years, is somebody going to like the color of my granite? As long as you do,
yes.
Then that's what's the important thing. And I've had people, honestly, change their countertops, for just to give an example, and thinking that they're going to make X amount of money when they do sell it. Mm-hmm. And the buyer comes in and can't stand that color. So they discount it by even more what it costs to actually put that in. So
now they've lost.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Noel, if it's that nasty green or that orange or whatever, I mean, come on. or whatever.
There are trends in colors, and everything comes back into style eventually. You just have to wait.
You just got to wait it out.
Yeah,
so that explains why John's wearing what he's wearing then.
Yes,
is that right?
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, 57% of the homes in the market last April were sold in less than 30 days. So we know the competition is just heavy duty out there. Again, multiple bids, highest and best. These are the terms that we're hearing. Definitely get a strong approval letter. Make sure your plan is concrete and that you're ready to go. Communication between the loan officer and your real estate agents and that listing agent is imperative. It's a must nowadays. And if you want to become a homeowner, definitely call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Again, we're celebrating National Homeownership Month, which is this month of June. So if you folks didn't know that, and we're definitely celebrating and promoting home ownership. It's definitely, they say the old American dream, but there's a lot more to it. It's a lifestyle. It's a shelter, and of course, so many other things come
Memories.
from memories and the community involvement. So there's just so much involved in finding a house that really fits your needs. Definitely call Capital. We'll get you that approval letter and move forward with you. We have open lines all morning here, 248-539-9797. Other reasons to call a mortgage banker, John, I always like to talk about this. We set up some goals. We teach you to learn some options, the down payment requirements, getting approved and getting qualified or pre-qualified is completely different. If you could comment on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many that we were just talking about at the break, right? There's so many different options to be able to do things nowadays. It's not the old standard. I got to sell my house first. I have to put 20% down. You don't have to put 20% down anymore. We have 3% down programs. We've got 5% down programs. We have programs with less than 20% that don't require mortgage insurance. People can buy their new home before selling their existing home because, like we were talking about, the houses are flying off the market. So, there's just so many more options that you have out there that are going to let you do what you want to do without disrupting your lifestyle.
Yeah, but you have to be prepared now. You have to be prepared
absolutely.
now more than ever, and you have to go in knowing what your options are, what flexibilities you have, how high you want to go. I mean, everybody says, what do I qualify? Well, how much do you want to pay?
Right.
And are you willing to go a little bit higher, or you want to stay under a certain range? Remember, everybody out there, you have to lay your head down on your pillow at night, and you have to be comfortable with that payment. And to me, you're not buying a pair of pants or a coat. You don't grow into your mortgage.
Right.
Your payment is your payment.
Right.
That's it.
Well, that's the good thing about what somebody like Harvey and I and Harry do for 20 plus years. Yep, I threw it out there.
I'm almost 30. No.
That we just give you options. We do most of our day is spent explaining different scenarios to clients. It's not just burn them and churn them. Make sure they're educated. Make sure they're good.
That's good stuff. Jake from Milan, good morning. Welcome to our show. Thanks for calling in. Go ahead, Jake.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
Real good.
Morning, Jake.
Good, Jake.
Okay, so my family and I just bought a new home last month, and because of our credit score, we had to go FHA with it.
Okay.
And of course that, brings PMI.
MIP, but yes.
Yes.
And it's funny you guys talking about, being comfortable with your mortgage payment, but, that PMI kind of bumped us a little bit higher than what we really feel comfortable with. But we were able to make so much off of the sale of our previous home that, we were able to hold on to a nice chunk of cash, as a security blanket.
Good.
But talking to our mortgage broker during the process, he kind of brought up, I think, what you guys were talking about a little bit earlier. The goal is, in 12 to 18 months. So our credit scores jumped. What we did with some of that money that we made, we immediately paid off all our credit card, our revolving debt.
Smart.
And our credit scores we were shocked at how fast they jumped.
Oh, great.
Yep.
So that's good. And the plan is, in 12 to 18 months is to go back and refi, and with an improved credit score, refi and get rid of that PMI.
Why are you going to wait 12 to 18 months?
Yeah. What's the rate right now on your FHA loan?
I think it's 4.5 or 4.
Right. Jake, yeah, you don't. I mean, you have to wait 6 months, right? At least, and you might as well start taking a look at it. And whether you're comfortable with your existing mortgage person or you want to use Harvey, myself, Harry, which obviously we prefer, but just you start your homework now. What's the credit score look like now? What are other things that you can do to get it up to that that 740 or above to get you into the best position?
Mm-hmm.
and we start educating you now.
I was going to ask Jay, hey, Jake, did you put the 3.5% down or did you end up putting more than that?
No, we just did the 3.5.
And then did the house appraise for a lot more money, and that also is giving you the added confidence that when you come, in another 6 months or so, you're going to have your 20% equity? What makes you think? Tell me about that.
So I guess that was really my biggest question, is that when we go back to refi, whenever that is that 20% equity is a non-starter to get rid of the PMI.
Nope, not true. Not true.
Not true. Okay.
Nope.
So I was misunderstanding that.
Yeah,
you can't get rid of PMI on any type of FHA loan, right? Even if you were to, we talked about earlier, recast it, you can't do that on an FHA loan. The PMI or the MIP is for life.
The MIP, right.
Yeah. So
MIP, sorry.
You'd have to get out of the FHA loan completely before doing something like that. But we do have options with as little as 3% down with no PMI. Yeah. So, but it comes with either higher costs, higher rates. But it's something that it might be beneficial to you. Monthly payment is what's important, right? And you want to make sure that you're comfortable with your monthly payment, and it's going to put you in a position to succeed.
Yeah, and also nobody can guarantee what the house is going to appreciate over a certain period of time. So
to answer your question, previously the house did appraise for $3,000 over what we bought it for. And we're planning on finishing out the basement also. So we think that, and putting another bedroom down there. So we think that.
Jake, we got a lot. We're going to have a lot to talk about all those improvements also. It's a great call, and congratulations for becoming a homeowner. And I'm going to look forward to talking with you. John and I will follow up with you after the show. And thanks for calling and joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, man. Thank you.
Just like Noel said, he's got to do those improvements because it's a lifestyle for him.
Right, exactly.
And that's it, not for the appreciation, not for another a buyer, just for him, he and his family.
Yep, exactly.
All righty, we got tons to share with you. I've got a few open lines. We're going to get to George out there. Stay on hold there, George. 248-539-9797. All your calls.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Grosse Ile, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty. 9:48 if you're just joining us. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Get out there and enjoy the day today, and definitely call Capital, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. You'll talk to real professionals. Get a strong approval letter. That's the key. An approval letter that's been run through, Becky, we talk about all this all the time.
Correct.
That's literally been run through the DU system. It's approved eligible. Then we've collected all the documentation to support the funds to close, and we're ready to go, and we're closing transactions, so many of them, between literally 15 and 25 days.
Yeah.
I've never closed this many loans like that. But again, then there's the other half of clients back that are still taking over 30. They don't have their ducks in a row.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest with you, to piggyback on that, yes, we can get transactions done in 15 days. You have agents saying, oh my God, I can't believe it. We just turned this PA on the 15th. Can you close it by the end of the month? Yes, as long as everyone has their life together.
Right.
Which means pay stubs, documentation of any large deposits, your bank statements. It's so important because our efficiency is contingent upon our buyers, our clients, our real estate agents' efficiency to get us these documents all in a row. So so you have a person where they're just a little bit hesitant, they don't have all their funds in the bank account just yet. You have these conversations in the beginning. Are you getting a loan?
Right.
Is it going to be a gift? Is it a 401k loan? I'm sorry to be specific. Are you getting a gift from a family member? We need to get the proper forms documented and in our possession so that way we can present the case for the underwriter. Because you have to understand, underwriter doesn't know what's going on. It is our job to present a story for them from beginning to end that this is where they work, this is what they've been doing the last 2 years, and this is where we're going and what they're trying to do with this new loan, this new mortgage, whether it's a cash out, whether it's a purchase. So it's extremely important. So you can't get mad at Capital Mortgage Funding because you decided that you weren't going to get your funds in the row right before we're closing.
Well, one of the things is it's back to what I said earlier that you got to remember you're asking someone else for money.
Yeah.
I've sat down with a lot of brand new first time homeowners, and they're like, well, I'm going to get this and I'm going to do this. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I think we have the wrong mindset here. You're wanting to go and borrow $200,000. Let's make that humanized for just a second. Like, hey, Harvey, I'd like to borrow $200,000. You're probably going to ask me, why? What are you going to buy?
Yeah.
The Ticket.
All right, welcome back to the show, 946. It's not such a great day, but who's complaining? A little cooler today? Get out there and go find yourself a house. Get that approval letter first at Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. That's 1-800-569-7283. Excited to have all your calls coming in at 248-539-9797. And let's get to those calls. George out in St. Clair Shores. George, you got a great question. Go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate you guys letting me on. So I got a question
Thanks.
for you. I'm building a house. I'm in the process of building a house right now. I've been blessed. I've made the right choices, and I'm funding the construction just straight cash. I'm not doing a loan or anything like that. When all is said and done, though, my plan is to just refinance the house and pull the money out.
Yeah.
I'm self-employed. I make good money. My credit score is very, very, very good. It's going to be a larger loan because the value of the house is going to be closer. I would say it's going to be a $750,000 home, and maybe I'll take like a 50% LTV.
Okay.
But I'm hearing from various people that, it's tougher. My rate's going to be higher, as opposed to just me going out there and buying a $750,000 home at a 50% LTV.
No, why would that be?
I just don't see why.
No, it's not true.
Okay.
Yeah. And George, you got a lot, and which we'll touch on mostly after the show, because there's a lot that you have to know about what you're doing right now and making sure you're prepared by the time that it is for you. You want to take the cash out, because there's just with new construction, you have to make sure, especially with title, that sworn statements and waivers are done. So we can touch on that, and we can get you going rates right away. We'll give you a call.
George, we're going to hook you up. Yeah, and congratulations. I love what you're doing. Hey, you on the water over there?
No, this is actually in Oakland County.
Okay.
This is actually going to be in Oakland County.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. You're coming our way a little bit. We're welcome to have you, and definitely we'll follow up. John will give you a call right after the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great stuff. 248-539-9797. We got a few more to get to here. Let's move off to Heather in Macomb. Heather, welcome to 97.1 The Ticket. Go back up to Heather there, or are we going to go to Mitch first? Let's leave Mitch. Hey, Mitch, you're there. Good morning. Can you hear us, Mitch?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's going on, Mitch?
Hey, listen, I bought a home in 2016, FHA loan, and we filed bankruptcy. Our discharge was Chapter 7. It was in February of this year. We're still living in the home. We didn't reaffirm the mortgage, and we can continue to live here as long as we pay. But I'm looking at perhaps moving out of the community, changing jobs. I'm really concerned about the possibility of being able to buy a home
2 years.
in the immediate future.
Don't know 2
really
years.
what to do. What's that?
You got 2 years. 2 years from you, because it's a Chapter 7 and it discharged in February. You got a 2-year waiting period for a new FHA loan. If you want to go conventional, you got to wait 4.
Okay, so just wait it out and.
Well, I mean, no, it's what you want to do. I mean, if you can find something that you can, you sell your house and you can find something you can buy on land contract or something like that, then you can still make your move. But if you want a new mortgage, you're just going to have to wait.
Yeah. Any advantage in selling the home versus just walking away from it?
If you walk away, do not walk away from your house. That's just not a good idea.
Foreclosure has different ramifications. The bankruptcy is one thing. Yeah. Mitch, do you have equity in the house?
We might have some. The market's gone up recently. We could possibly have equity, but if you involve a realtor, get all the fees taken out, probably would be about a wash, I would think.
No, but
I'd rather you do that.
I'd rather you do that too, because you keep your credit intact.
Right.
Remember, you've got waiting periods for everything, right? 2 years for like we were talking for bankruptcy. You throw a bankruptcy and then you walk away from your house. It doesn't matter if those waiting periods are extinguished. You could have an underwriter said, "Look, this guy he's too risky."
Yeah, he just bailed,
and they don't want to do anything. So. Don't make that decision. That's just a bad road to go down.
Yeah, no, great advice, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Mitch. We'll
Best
give you a
of
call
luck.
back.
Mitch.
You got it,
Definitely.
Mitch.
Hey, let's move off to Heather here in Macomb. Heather, thank you for holding. Go ahead, Heather. You got a good question.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Thanks for all the updates so far on first home buyer here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're really excited. My husband and I, we just got married. We're renting as of right now. My in-laws, they inherited a house a couple years ago, and it's recently been vacant. And they had put out the offer to give us the home, and we would do all the updates on it. And as of right now, we're thinking about in a couple months taking that offer. She offered it to us about over a year ago, and we were contemplating about it. And my husband's just really scared about it because it needs so much work, and probably flipping it and turning it over pretty soon. But we're just really nervous about the FHA process or what route we could go on. We both have good jobs. We're just thinking about, it's probably can make about $80,000, at least I would say $80,000 on the house.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's
John, what do you
very
think?
good. So, Heather, there's we'll discuss a lot after the show as well. But yours is in depth as well. But it's a great idea. We've got renovation loans. They don't have to be FHA. You can go conventional with those too, especially if you've got good credit. And yeah, what we do is just use the loan to put the money into escrow so that you can do the renovations without having to have it on hand. So yeah, great ideas. We can discuss about the inheritance and making sure that we do the title work the right way for the new home.
Yeah, that's easy enough. Good call, Heather. It's good stuff. Like John said, we'll
Congrats on
definitely follow
getting
up.
married too.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling.
That's good stuff. All right, 248-539-9797. I know we're on a roll, guys. Let's go one more here for sure. We got Mark out there, self-employed, but wants to buy a new home. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Mark? What's happening? We could probably make this work for you. I hope you show some income. Tell us your story, Mark.
Well, my first story was I own a lake house 100%. It's a very large lake in Oakland County.
Cool.
It's been totally remodeled. So I want to do for sale by owner. I'm just wondering how would I go about valuing that, And then once I sell that, I need to probably get a mortgage because I want a major upgrade. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
Well, what I can tell you is this, obviously we partner up with the realtors out there because they do the best job. And, I don't sell homes, so I couldn't tell you what to do on a for sale by owner. I can, offer you a blank purchase agreement that you fill out yourself, but you get with somebody like Noel here, and maybe he does say, hey, if you want to try to, if you're going to use me to buy the new home, maybe I can, put you down the road of what you might need to do to sell.
Wait, John, let's clarify that. You might be able to get a discount on a commission on a sale of a house if you're going to work with the agent on the purchase of a new one. In other words, agents
hey, we shouldn't offer that up for Noel. Let's for Noel offer up. I mean, come on. No, we're not getting in your pocket. We're just trying to make a deal here for you.
Mark, the other thing is to think that if you're selling a house by owner, right?
Yeah.
And you're not willing to pay commissions, you're cutting out the majority of the people that are going to buy houses out there because they're using realtors, and the realtors are going to still have to get, if you've got a buyer out there, the realtor is still going to want to get their commission on the sale. So, you may not be saving that much by not selling it by yourself.
Mark, or maybe somebody can make you more money.
Mark, it's about qualifying buyers.
There you go.
Realtors, we don't work with somebody that's not ready, willing, and able to purchase something. The real estate process
you make sure
and the
that
whole
they're legit before you start bidding on houses.
Well,
right?
yeah. Why he doesn't want to waste his time.
No, we don't get paid unless we excel and we succeed and make things happen from A to Z. End of story.
No, I want to add this. This is a good conversation, Mark. Don't go anywhere at all. This is awesome stuff. There's some motivation.
Yes.
You have your house listed. Now all of a sudden there's activity on the house. There's multiple bids. People are driving that price up for you.
Sure.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Sometimes you might get more, even though you're paying a commission. You might end up getting $20,000 or $30,000 more, and now you're not having any of the hassles. You netted more money, or you netted similar money.
Well, right.
Noel
and Mark have to sit down, and it might end up being that Mark ends up netting more money because Noel's going to do the homework for him, and he might be able to sell it for more money.
Yeah, Mark, and that's the greatest
Mark,
thing.
you might you might be leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
here.
we throw such a huge net out to a number of buyers again that are ready, willing, and able. Where you can only access so many as a for sale by owner. You don't have access to the information that we have and the ports that we have to scatter that information out for what is available.
No,
And then you're going to be able to take those offers that he's getting and decipher what's good and what's not. Because he may get some offers in there, and Mark, you're going to get an offer that says that it's $30,000 higher than what you were asking for, and Noel will look at it and say, "Hey, look, there's no way this is ever going to go through. This guy's just tying up your house."
Yeah, Mark, I would love to have a conversation with you and would support whichever direction that you choose to go.
Conversations don't cost anything.
Exactly.
Mark, it's awesome stuff either way. Hey, what lake is that? You want to give it away?
I'll just say it's in the top 5 in Oakland County. How's that?
There you go.
Harvey's licking his chops over here.
It reminds me of a quick shout out to all my lake buddies out on Cass, Sylvan, Elizabeth, all of them. Hey, we're going to take the day off today out on the lakes. But I'll tell you what, if you're out there and you're looking to buy a house, call Noel Heidemann. He's at Maxbrook Realty in Birmingham.
Thanks, guys.
Give us a call, Capital Mortgage Funding. Get that approval letter. We'll set you up with Noel and all these other great agents. We have tons of great shows coming here. Keep it on 97.1. I see Pat Caputo outside to talk sports. Go Tigers, and we will see you next Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Bird for Capital Mortgage Funding. We do loans everywhere. In Southfield, in Birmingham, in Royal Oak, in Groseal, in Detroit, in Canton, in Northville. No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.